Hello again everyone, I'm Paul the Nitro Skywers and welcome to another edition of the Nitro Corner. Today is Friday and it's time for part one of the weekend report. We'll start off with the Monday Night Raw report, then the Impact report, and then a special double feature on the Nitro Opinion, a spoiler alert first on the Nitro Opinion, and then my opinion on the WWE Network. So let's begin with the Monday Night Raw report, which was Monday Night Raw was this past Monday night. It was the Monday Night Raw Super Show where SmackDown and Raw competed on the same night. It started out with a CM Punk promo, one of the best promo men in professional wrestling. He comes out there and he says he tends to piss a lot of people off. Well, no duh, CM Punk. That was a nice line to start things out. He says he still does not buy that tension between Kevin Nash and Triple H. Well, he calls out Kevin Nash. Nash comes out there. Nash says he does what I do whatever I want, Punk, and I'm gonna break you in half. And all that crap. Triple H interrupts and says that he found something very interesting about what happened at SummerSlam, like a security camera showing Kevin Nash planting that text. That's right, the text that said that they were going to take whoever's champion, take him out. Well, Nash was the one that planted the text. Well, Nash did admit to that and told Triple H, well, what are you going to do about it? You should have fired him. He's the cancer. He's a cancer in the locker room. No, you're the cancer, Nash. Well, Nash decides, says that Triple H might have been upset with him pushing around. Well, Nash poked him and says, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Triple H pops in the mouth and then says, Nash, you're fired. That's right. Kevin Nash is fired from the WWE by Triple H. Well, that systematically ended the friendship between Kevin Nash and Triple H. Moving on now, we had ourselves a tag team matchup as Air Boom, the team of Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston, which reminds me a lot of the team of Rick Steamboat and Jay Youngblood, except for the fact that Steamboat and Youngblood had better teamwork and more continuity than Kingston and Bourne, but they are somewhat similar. Well, Air Boone defeated Jinder Mahal and the Great Khali thanks to a miscommunication between Khali and Jinder Mahal. Next up, Beth Phoenix defeated Eve to become the #1 contender for the women's title. Congratulations to Beth. She'll get her shot at Kelly at Night of Champions next weekend. Next up, R-Truth wrestled CM Punk, and it was CM Punk victorious. Then Triple H comes out there and says, Punk, at the Night of Champions, I'm going to change that matchup because now it's a no disqualification match. Now you think about them apples, huh? Well, he decides to change it to a no DQ match. CM Punk says that's cool, but he wanted a stipulation. He said if Triple H loses the match, he must resign as COO of Raw. Please, Lord, let that happen. I don't want to hear any more of the career politician. Please, Lord, Heavenly Father, please, Lord, let Triple H lose this match, please. Anyway, that's on the side note. Triple H agreed to the stipulation, and that's what's going to happen at Night of Champions again. Please, Lord, let Triple H lose so he can get rid of him as CEO of the career politician, please. Next up, of course, a promo stating that the WWE Network is coming in 2012, and then my Nitro Opinion coming up. I'll have my opinion about that. Next up, Michael McGillicuddy and David Ortunga lost to Jerry the King Lawler and his partner for the night, Mr. Woo Woo, Zack Ryder, the Long Island Iced Tea. With a Z, not with a T. Whatever, he's got a pretty good promo that Ryder can watch out for him in the near future. Next up, Randy Orton defeated the one-man rock band, Heath Slater. Great victory for Orton. Next up, John Cena comes out there, the Kool-Aid drinker. Says he still wants Alberto Del Rio. Well, Del Rio comes out there and says, John, I'm here to protect you. I'm just only here to protect you. Because you know what's going to happen at Night of Champions anyway. Well, it happened to be a sneak attack in the process as Wade Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, Christian, and Jack Swagger attacked Cena, only to be saved by John Morrison, Sheamus, and Alex Riley, which led up to an impromptu 8-man tag team elimination main event ordered by Theodore along with the permission of the career politician Triple H. And in the end, it was John Cena, the lone survivor in that one. First, John Morrison got eliminated, and then Alex Riley got eliminated second. Third, Wade Barrett got eliminated, and then Christian and Sheamus were both counted outside of the ring. And then Dolph Ziggler was eliminated, and then finally Jack Swagger was eliminated by John Cena in the end. After that, Alberto Del Rio tried to jump John Cena, but John Cena was prepared this time and delivers the FU to Alberto Del Rio. And that ended Raw for this Monday. My opinion, it was a pretty interesting show with the 8-man tag team elimination matchup. And of course, my man, Mr. Promo, taught to get the job done at Night of Champions. And please get rid of COO Triple H, the career politician. All in all, it was a good show for Raw this week, showing some improvement. Moving on now to the Impact Report, once again from the Huntsville Civic Center in Huntsville, Alabama. It opened up with the return of Jeff Hardy. As we know, for those of you who don't know or have not read today, from PWRshow.com, Jeff Hardy pled guilty to distributing drugs and possession of drugs. He will get a 10-day sentence and fine $30,000, plus he'll do 30 months of probation. Anyway, Jeff Hardy comes out there and says he wants one more chance. All he could do is ask for one more chance. I'm keeping myself out of this. It's up to the TNA brass if they're going to give Jeff Hardy one more chance. Next up, the Pope and Devon score a very impressive win over the British Invasion, and now they're the #1 contenders and will challenge Mexican American at No Surrender for the TNA World Tag Team titles. Next up, the final 4 were announced for the Bound for Glory series. They are as follow: Robert Roode and James Storm, Beer Money, that's 2. Bully Ray, who thinks he's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world, and the man has beaten 2 world champions in a span of a 2-week period. Gunner, he is now in it. I guess Crimson out of the Bound for Glory series due to injury at the hands of Samoa Joe. Next up, television title was on the line as Eric Young defeated Robbie E. But after the victory, as he was celebrating on the second row, Rob Terry comes out there and delivers a vicious last ride powerbomb to Eric Young, laying him out. Then the World's Heavyweight Championship was on the line as Mr. Anderson defeated Kurt Angle by disqualification because of outside interference from Immortal. Interesting note, Sting was the enforcer referee for that match. He also got beaten down by Immortal, which now leads to a triple threat match in the main event at No Surrender, as Kurt Angle will defend the the Impact World Heavyweight title against both Mr. Anderson and the goofy one, Sting. Next up, Divas action as Winner and Angelina Love scored a victory over Velvet Sky and Mickie James, as Mickie James got spewed with that red mist in the face thanks to Winner. Absolutely disgusting. But my girl Mickie James will get back at her. The Knockouts rematch is coming at No Surrender. And then in the main event, a 4-quarters match for the Bound for Glory series. Last chance to pick up some points before the pay-per-view, as Gunner defeated both Bully Ray, James Storm, and Robert Roode by pinfall to score 7 points in the series. So now he is now tied with Robert Roode for second place. It will be Gunner versus Robert Roode in the Bound for Glory series, and Bully Ray takes on James Storm. Should be some interesting bouts for the Bound for Glory series. And that was Impact for this week. Overall, Impact was a very good show, solid action from top to bottom. Now it is time for the Nitro Opinion. As I mentioned, it's a double feature this week. First off, it's time for a spoiler alert. That's right, a spoiler alert. For those of you who don't want to listen to this, this preview of Pro Wrestling Illustrated that's coming out in 2 weeks. Right now, if you haven't looked at the cover on pwi/online.com or haven't heard anything about this yet, if you don't want to be told what's going to happen with this piece of news, please turn off, fast forward through this video now towards near the end where I talk about the WWE Network right now. For those of you who stayed aboard and want to hear the spoiler alert, here is my opinion. The PWI 50, the top 50 female wrestlers, was released by Pro Wrestling Illustrated this past, in their issue coming out in 2 weeks. I got a sneak peek of it at pwrshow.com, and in a surprise this year, the #1 wrestler is the Shimmer Heavyweight Champion, Madison Eagles. Now, Madison is a very good female wrestler on the independent circuit, but it is the first time that an independent organization's female champion was the #1 wrestler in the PWI 50. And also Mercedes, Miss Mercedes, another independent wrestler. If I forget your last name, I apologize for that. You can pick up Pro Wrestling Illustrated and take a look at it. Another independent wrestler, very good by the way, was #2. The highest ranking of the two organizations, the WWE and TNA, was Mickie James of TNA, and she was #3. Think about that. Highest WWE was Kelly, the Divas champion, ranked 8th. Now you're talking about a hard list to get on. That's a lot of scrutiny from Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I applaud the fine folks at Pro Wrestling Illustrated, excuse me, for the PWI 50. Tremendous job this year, keeping it straight, keeping it real. Congratulations to Madison Eagles, the #1 wrestler in the PWI 50, and that is your spoiler alert. Spoiler alert is over. For those of you who are back from the fast forwarding through the spoiler alert, I am done with that, and it's time for part 2 of my Nitro Opinion. As I mentioned earlier on the Monday Night Raw report, guess what's coming in 2012? The WWE channel. I am looking forward to this. It is going to spank ESPN, aka the LeBron James channel, for all that it's worth. It'll make ESPN look stupid, trust me. All that original programming, 20 years worth of original programming, I cannot wait. But there may be a downside as far as the DVD sales go. They could dramatically drop, and as well as YouTube could be suffering a little bit from this as well, as they also air matches here on YouTube. But in my opinion, the WWE channel is the biggest revolutionary thing that we're going to be seeing in the next 20 years. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll probably subscribe to it when it becomes available in 2012. Hopefully it'll be a regular channel that I could just pay with my other channels, my regular channels. Thank you, Lord. So the WWE channel coming in 2012, I say look forward to it. It's going to be real interesting with all that original programming. Well, that is it for this edition of the Nitro Corner. I'll be back tomorrow for part 2 of the Weekend Report, featuring the SmackDown Report and the Nitro Top 10. And then Sunday, not only the classic match of the week, but the return of the booking sheet. That's right, the booking sheet for TNA's No Surrender. Until then, I'm Paul the Nitro Skyver saying, so long, everybody.